Hi everyone, this is Archangeli. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to old friends and welcome to new friends. So today we're going to talk about something that's brand new and also old school at the same time. This is the newly released Bishoujo girl figure from Kotobukiya of Morrigan from the Darkstalkers game. So yeah, let's have a look at her. So let's just get into this. As I'm opening, you can see there's some beautiful artwork by Shunyo Yamashita. And let me just pull this figure out of the blister pack and tell you a little bit about this figure. So this is Morrigan from Darkstalkers, and the Darkstalkers game was released back in 1994, which was when, all these fighting games were super popular, like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. So this figure was released this summer in July 2022, and it retailed for about 150 Canadian dollars or 120 USD. I got mine from Ami. It's actually available right now on the Kotobukiya site for an October release in time for Halloween. So here's the figure out of the box. Let's have a closer look at this figure and look at some of the detail work on her. At first glance, this seems like a very simple and straightforward figure, but that's where some of the detailing becomes even more impressive. If you look at her as she's spinning around, pay attention to the inside and the outside of her bat wings. You'll notice on the outer side there's a skin-like texture, and you can also see the skeletal frame of the bat wings sculpted in there. You can see a better view of that skin texture as she's coming around here. It looks really, really cool. And on the inside, there's actually veins on those bat wings, and they've actually translated that detailing of the wings, that level of detail, to the little wings that are on the top of her head as well. You see that same texturing on the black, you see the veins on the inside, and what's even more impressive about the ones on her head is they're really, really thin. I think at the thickest point they're maybe 2 millimeters, but they go down really, really fine to almost like a paper thin 0.5 millimeter thickness, which is really, really cool. That they just look really cool. Now, next I want to talk about how beautifully painted she is. They've taken a lot of effort to put in a lot of body blushing and contouring and shading that on first glance you wouldn't really notice. I mean, her butt looks great, her knees look great, but it's hard to see from here, but they've actually airbrushed her spine as well on her back. And you normally wouldn't even notice that. They've airbrushed her ears, they've airbrushed her neck and her cleavage, that fluffy fur trim on the top of her outfit as well is really nicely airbrushed as well. And if you've watched some of my other reviews, you know that I often complain that some figures, they don't do very much in terms of coloring with the hair on the sculpts. And sometimes it's a disservice. It just makes what would be a fantastic sculpt look really, really boring. This is not the case here. So first of all, the sculpt of her hair is great. There's a lot of movement, lots of pieces, and you can see there's at least, from my estimation, maybe 4 or 5 different colors that they've put in her hair. And 10 out of 10, her hair looks fantastic. I wish more figures would put this level of detailing in the hair. Now, in terms of paint textures, they haven't really used anything too shiny, or there's nothing shimmery, to be honest. They've used satin finish, some matte finish, and the only thing that's super shiny and super glossy is the inside of the bat wings. I know with this lighting it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but there's nothing that's overly shiny on this figure. Even the base, in the light, it might look like it has a bit of a shimmer to it, but it's actually all matte. And the base is kind of cool that they've done this kind of purple and pink and yellow ombre finish. So overall, I think the detail work on this figure and the attention that they've put into these little things that you wouldn't see at first glance is very impressive, and I think they've done a great job. So here's Morrigan. Now, for such a simple figure, Kotobukiya has actually done a really great job, and I'm quite impressed with the level of detail they've put into her. The texturing on the wings, on her head and on her body, the airbrushing in her hair, and just the overall airbrushing and body shading is just really, really well done. Another thing I want to point out her hair, these little pieces in the front, they're not actually attached to her chest. So you don't need to worry about paint transfer, which is very well planned. Another thing I want to point out actually is they've done this cross hatch sculpting on the bottom of the base. So it's actually very sturdy, very well balanced. It's how I can put her on this very small little riser. It's very well balanced, and I appreciate that. I really do. Overall, I think this is a beautiful figure. I can't wait to get Felicia and display both of them side by side. Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. I hope you enjoyed my unboxing of the Kotobukiya Bishoujo Morrigan figure today. Now, as you can see, I've got a lot of spooktastic figures lined up for the month of Spooktober, and hopefully we can get through them before the month of October comes and goes. If there's something here that you'd like to see, please drop me a comment so that I know and I can prioritize making a video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please hit subscribe so that you get a notification when I post my next video. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.